I would like to announce that a quorum is present. The meeting is duly called, and a notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. The time is 6 p.m. The following board members are in attendance: Catherine Sells, Michelle Alcateb, Dr. Stacy Barker, Allison Hassan, Sheila Taylor, and Jenny Prosnick. Dr. Bonner will be joining us shortly. Dr. Bonner has made his entrance. He is here. I've asked board member Dr. Stacy Barker to lead us in prayer.
I invite you to pray with me as you so choose. Almighty God, our eternal guide, send down upon all those who lead this great district the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose we may faithfully serve in our offices to promote the well-being of all our students, staff, and stakeholders. I ask in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We will now convene into closed session as authorized by Texas Government's Code Section 551, specifically 551.071 and 129. The time is 6:01 p.m. We are back on the record in open session, having returned from closed session. The time is now 6:20 p.m. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Ms. Lassam, would you read our mission statement?
Yes. Our mission statement today is engaging and inspiring learners and leaders.
And Ms. Taylor, would you read our vision statement?
Yes, Madam President. The vision statement. All students are confident, equipped with the knowledge and skills to thrive and adapt for their future.
Thank you. Public comments are next on the agenda. As this is a special meeting, public comment may only be offered on the open session items on our agenda tonight. Comments about non-agenda items may be given at the next regular meeting. The board has not received any requests for public comment on the open session items on tonight's agenda. Accordingly, there are no eligible speakers this evening, and we will move on to the next agenda items. Discussion items. Number 1, 2023 bond program. Dr. Rapp.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, this evening for the 2023 bond program, I'm going to have Mr. Colbeck come up as we're going to talk about the technology projects that are listed before you on the agenda.
I apologize.
Please stop speaking. You have not been recognized by the chair. The board will now be in recess until the boardroom can be cleared. We are back from our recess. The time is 6:29 p.m. For audience disruption. We are not hearing comments from the audience. You are here to observe and are expected to be quiet and respectful. If you cannot comply with these rules, you will be asked to leave. We are now moving on to our discussion items, the 2023 bond program. Dr. Rapp.
Madam President, members of the board, I've got Brian Colbeck here tonight to go over some important things about our technology projects that are coming up.
All right, thank you. The 2023 bond program is the topic, and technologies alone with this tonight because the topics on the agenda are all technology related. And several of the items I was foreshadowing last month. So this first item is our data center UPS project. If you recall, I shared that the units here at LISDAC as well as LHS are aging. They need to be replaced. The one at LISDAC is approaching that 20-year mark. So as you can imagine, we do need a plan for replacement of that equipment. Prior to this meeting, we brought an item forward to the board where we picked the construction delivery method. And if you recall, that project has different phases because of its public works nature, some of the electrical work. So that part has already been approved. We're moving on with the engineering part of that already. And then the final two phases of this project are essentially broken up into two parts. One is essentially the equipment, the hardware, the support, the maintenance, installation services for the actual equipment itself. And then there's also electrical work that's going to be needed. So what we're going to be doing, procurement and contracts right now is working on pricing out that equipment. Our plan is to bring the equipment itself as a recommendation in April, and then the electrical work would follow in May. And then our next item, we have our enterprise backup system. If you recall that our current backup system was put in as part of the 2017 bond. Again, same situation, the equipment's aging. It's obviously a critical part to our network operations, our backup disaster recovery systems. Again, procurement contracts is working on pricing that equipment. We plan to bring a consent item in April. The virtual server hardware replacement, again, it's equipment that's hitting the end of life and it needs to be replaced. This is a two-part piece. Not all of our current virtual server hardware would be included in this. This would be only the stuff that's reaching end of life, which is it's actually a pretty small percentage. So you're going to see this come back as a future project to in a couple of years to pick up the other gear that is not reaching end of life. But again, procurement contracts is working on pricing, and we plan on bringing a consent item for that in April. And then the security camera storage replacement, that project was also put in as part of the 2017 bond. Aging equipment again. Obviously, that technology is a big part of our overall physical security. We've added cameras. We're looking at storage capabilities as well as planning for a little bit of growth there as well. Procurement contracts is working on pricing, and again, this would be something we'd be bringing forward as consent in April. So in our next step section, I wanted to start really with March because we have a few things that I discussed last month, and I've been putting this in the board letter as well, but we are on track to bring forward the recommendation for the enterprise resource planning software in March. And then also I shared with the board that it's possible we were going to bring a recommendation for fourth grade iPad replacement, and I said that could or it may or not come forward depending on if Apple released new hardware. And they actually did release some new hardware today, but it was not an iPad. So I think unless something changes between now and the 18th, we're planning on bringing a consent item forward. And essentially we need equipment for incoming fourth grade. So this would allow us to get it ordered and get it here and get it ready for the start of next school year. Obviously our much larger replacement would be down the line as newer hardware is released. And then for April, looking at our April work session, topics that would be discussed, there's a couple of them. One of them is fiber ring expansion. So if you recall from the 2017 bond, we were building out our fiber ring project, and that has taken a long time. And we tried to leverage E-rate for that project, and discussing this with Chris as well as our E-rate consultant. There's some incentive to actually do this very early, excuse me, very early in the 23 bond program for a couple of reasons. One, just generally material costs, kind of similar to what Randy says on the construction side. Year over year, you're seeing those costs go up. And then also, there will again be an opportunity to potentially do this through Region 11 consortium. And there's some other school districts in the consortium that have a pretty high free reduced lunch ratio that'll help bring up our overall subsidized amount if in fact that's the way the project gets bid out and that's the way we want to go. So there's some incentives for that, and then obviously, you know, the one kind of untold is that the sooner we put this in, the more resilient the network is and addresses situations when we have outages and fiber cuts. But ultimately what we're going to be looking at in April is for the board to consider a contingency agreement. If you recall, we did that last time, where the board signed the contingency agreement, so we hit that E-rate filing window, and then we would bring another item back to the board once we actually get to the point of approving the actual expenditure. Okay? And then the second item for discussion in April is campus sound and paging as a category in the 23 bond. We're at a point where we actually had, in the last month here, some recent hardware failure and we really don't have any spare equipment left. So we're looking at bringing something forward that we can address some of the paging systems in our campuses. Chris and his team are working on a plan for that. And then as we transition into the April board meeting itself, this is just really a recap of the items I've already talked about. The data center, the backup system, virtual servers, security camera would all be consent, as well as the fiber ring contingency agreement. And then I have campus sound and paging as tentative if we can get the pricing back. But that would be something we would be, you know, those two items would be more discussion at the work session, and we'd turn around and bring a recommendation right at the board meeting. And I think that's it.
Do any board members have any questions for Mr. Colbeck? Ms. Sells.
The campus sound and paging systems that we're seeing some failures of, are those a security or safety concern?
Yeah, yes, they would be. I'm going to let Chris speak to it. Where we're seeing some issues with the systems we currently have and kind of forecast maybe what's going to be in our recommendation.
Yeah, so there are no systems that are down at this time. We've had some failures, and we are just running very low on parts, or we are out of other parts. And so what we would like to do is basically replace the system that is at LHS, because LHS has the equivalent of about 2.5 PA systems for a normal campus. So we can replace that system and then gain all of those parts as spare parts to use over the next couple of years as other parts fail in the other systems. So, but there's no imminent danger at any campuses right now. Every PA system is up and working right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My only question is, do we have any supply chain issues? I mean, it just seems to be the question. Even if it comes to us in April, I mean, where are we as far as like hitting timelines and things like that?
There's always going to be a risk for supply chain. And I think, I didn't mention this on the fiber ring, but I actually see where we are right now is another benefit to do that this year. As you know, we went through the hardware that we originally ordered, got discontinued, and we had to wait till the new stuff was available. Now that's what the current SKUs are. So we know what that is, and it's available. There's a product roadmap there. So I would think if we, fill out the E-rate funding on that particular equipment, that we would see that project move along faster than what it did in 2017. As far as the other gear, I think with our Apple order for fourth grade, we're doing it the time we're doing it right now. We're going to be ahead of some of the other school districts, so we would expect that stuff to be here by May so we can start prepping it for the summer.
All right, good news. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda is 2017 bond program. Dr. Rapp.
All right, Madam President, members of the board, I'm going to bring up Randy Feit and Ms. Gall to join Mr. Colbeck as well. As we've talked about with the 2017 bond, one of the final projects that we have to do is the Tech East addition and renovation. And of course, you all have heard from Mr. Cooper as part of the CTE update over the last several years about what we're planning to do regarding programs. And so we just want to give an update tonight, and it'll start with Mr. Feit.
All right, thank you, Dr. Rapp. Good evening, President Prosnick and the board. So tonight I am here to present the guaranteed maximum price for the Tech East addition and renovation project. This is the last planned GMP from the 2017 bond, so it's kind of a milestone. For this project, Stantec is the architect, Pogue is the construction manager at risk. The GMP process we discussed last month at the work session. And this project has been advertised and bid to subcontractors by Pogue Construction. Those bids have been evaluated and scoped, and Pogue has developed a GMP of $14,573,848 for this project. That GMP does fit within our project budget, and the funding source is the 2017 bonds. This GMP will be presented on the 18th as a consent item for approval. And so with that, I'm going to jump into a couple of slides real quick. Just wanted to kind of share what this project looks like. So there's really three components to the project. One is the addition of an auto shop. The second is once the old auto shop moves into the new addition, that will become a welding shop. And then we have a dental lab renovation piece. So this is an overall view of the floor plan of Tech East, the first floor, and you'll see the two large orange areas there. The one at the top of the page there is the new auto shop addition. The other orange area is the existing auto shop addition that will then become welding. Here's just a quick floor plan of that new auto shop. This area will actually be the storm shelter for the campus. So we've used the average occupancy of that building to make sure that everybody can fit within there. There's one drive on a lift. There's 4 post lifts, and then there's a dedicated diesel bay with engine hoist, as been talked about from the CTE folks. The different programs they're going to have there. The existing auto shop lab will fit 30 welding booths. There's a covered outdoor area for the exterior work. We have an increased secure tool storage space and flexible power across that shop for mobile equipment. There's a lot of different kind of pieces and parts in the welding shops, not just welders in there. So. Here's a view of the second floor, and you can just see that kind of orange area. This is an existing classroom, and basically we're turning that into a dental lab. So that dental lab will have stations for 24 students. We'll have 12 practice mannequin heads and 2 dental suite chairs. Here's a little exterior rendering. So this is a view of the brand new auto shop, the storm shelter area. You can see the bay doors for the auto shop. So this is kind of on the back side of the school. And then some interior renderings. This is a kind of a picture of what will be the dental lab renovation. The welding lab renovation. So this is the existing auto shop that's there currently. And then this is a view of kind of the entrance to that new addition, which is the auto shop. And we have some fancy cars in that auto shop, as you can see. Real quick on the schedule. So there are 3 components. The very first component is the dental lab. Our plan is to have that completed by the end of this summer. The new auto shop addition, we're hoping to have that complete by May of 2025. As soon as, and hopefully maybe even a little sooner. As soon as that is complete, they plan to go ahead and move those students from the existing auto shop so that we can get started on that welding shop renovation. The goal for the welding shop renovation is to be complete with that by August of 2025. So really by August of next year, we hope to be out of there with this entire project. And then I'm going to let Ms. Gall talk about some updates on the CTE side.
We are so grateful and so excited for this expansion and these opportunities, and we are in the process of doing a couple of things that will help to expedite that these programs get going, one of which is the hiring of the diesel tech teaching unit, and that will be done in August so that they can start teaching in the current auto tech space until the addition is complete. And then we are in the process of hiring the dental unit that would also begin in August and can take on some of our health science courses with the classes that we have and the load that we have in interest right now. And then we are working to secure the Kubota equipment with the CTE funding that we will get for the next fiscal year.
So with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions you have. And we have Brett Holsley from Stantec here as well, in case there's any very detailed questions about the design.
Ms. Lasan.
I don't have a big question. I just kind of wanted to reiterate the fact that this was the very last big building project from the 2017 bond, and it's under budget.
That's right.
I mean, that's kind of amazing, really, when you think about all the inflationary costs and problems that we've had on the way. So, kudos to you guys and the team, and
Sure. Thank you. We did.
The universe, I don't know.
We did come to the board previously and ask for some additional funds for those inflation, so we were able to stay within that. So we're very grateful that y'all did approve that increase there. But yes, thank you very much.
Yes, so very excited for this to get started.
Sure.
Ms. Taylor?
I just wanted to I'm excited when I saw it, even before he showed the cool cars. Excited about the renovations, the expansions, and the additions. I think it shows that we're being good stewards of what the voters have entrusted us with doing what we said we would do with the bond proceeds. And I am just really excited that we continue to give our students the best opportunities for the futures that they choose. So just wanted to say thank you.
Dr. Bonner.
Ms. Gall, dental lab, welding shop, auto tech for the, excuse me, for diesel maintenance, et cetera. Burgeoning programs, correct? A lot of kids coming out there with ASC certification on the car side and also certifications on the welding side. Do we have we don't have a lab currently, so that's a new program, is that correct?
The dental?
Yeah.
That will be a brand new program that we are operating, yeah.
Before we meet next time, maybe you can send it to us for an update. Could you just give us a couple of years' worth of enrollment on that? Because I'm
Yes.
imagining we're building because we've got numbers swelling, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And we want that to increase, and we do have
Absolutely.
some numbers on students who've expressed interest because that dental lab will be a spring type of thing, but we want to get them into the pathway with the health sciences, so we do have some information we could share.
So just real quickly for public edification, starting salaries coming out of those programs for a certified senior walking out, what's average salary for auto tech, welding, and dental?
Well, I knew you were going to put me on a Jason
Sorry, so
Cooper
sorry.
question tonight, and he's watching, so Jason can text me the answer to all of those questions. But
Ballpark?
certainly, walking
70,
out of
80?
them, 70, 80 is what
Yeah.
some of our kids are reporting back to us.
Yeah, certainly better than
And some
what
of
we'd
them
get
have
without
come
it,
back
correct?
and presented on a panel and shared that their experience has been that they are more successful than some of their college peers.
Sure.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In
Okay.
obtaining jobs and salary.
Thank you.
Ms. Sells?
Yes, when you ask Jason those informations too, or at least I know a few of us know the buy-ins that the students and their families have to make for these programs. I would love to know what the buy-ins for the new program is going to be. And also, I know we'll be hiring for the dental lab, and then the welding and auto, the diesel, be hiring for those. Do we see any issues with hiring?
I really do not, because they can serve in multiple duties and roles and have on with that auto tech, they can do both of those typically, and then the dental with that health services. I don't think it will be a problem at all for us to find an interested candidate or two. Okay. I think it'll be a popular position, actually. Okay. Both of them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you can't get those welding bays built fast enough because we have always had a double waiting list for welding, and so I'm excited to offer it at both of our Tech East and Tech West. I will ask, and this might be a Stan Tech question. Sure. Woo, you get excited. I get to answer a question. Did we make any changes to the welding bays at Tech East than what we have at Tech West? For example, did we learn anything from the way that those were built?
Sure, and I think and I'll stand here if that's okay, or sit here if that's okay. But there's always lessons to be learned, especially as you get through construction and realize how tight some of the tolerances become. We learned a lot of good information on how to make the snorkels work for the welding booths themselves. The location of where things go in the shop actually was a big help. Adrian and all the other CTE folks had a lot of really good information about, it's not so good at the back of the class. It really needs to be more at the front. And so we took a lot of that advice into the plan and really tried to make it the best it could be.
Thank you for reflecting that we are a learning institution.
And now you've got Brian with the network core
Yes.
support.
Thank you. No presentation on this one. This should be pretty straightforward. This is regarding our network core support. So as a reminder, our current network core that we're running today was part of the 2017 bond. It was installed in 2019. That equipment's becoming, it's not currently end of life, but the licensing maintenance support is going to be expiring in May. And it's running well. We're expecting to be able to get another 3 years or so out of that equipment. So what is happening right now is procurement and contracts is working on the pricing to basically re-up our maintenance support, our licensing, and ultimately our plan is to bring back a recommendation to the board for that purchase, and that would come out of the unencumbered 2017 bond balance for technology.
Are there any questions for Mr. Colbeck? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Moving on, the finance report. Mr. Rare.
All right, thank you. Tonight we have 6 purchases that are included in the consent agenda preview for March. The first one is the technology device replacement that was discussed previously during the 2023 bond program update. And then the next 5 are annual purchases. So the first one is renewal of video management products and services. If approved, this would be the final year of a 5-year agreement that allows the district use of the video management solution that provides students and staff an all-in-one video experience to securely create, manage, discover, collaborate, and live stream video content across any device. The next one is renewal of polystyrene foam recycling units. The polystyrene foam recycling units are included in the Child Nutrition Spend-Down Plan that was approved by TDA. These units condense styrofoam meal trays and melt them down into a reusable product, which reduces the amount of bulk trash that the campuses have. The district currently has 11 units, and renewal of this RFP would provide the opportunity to purchase additional units. The next one is elevator equipment maintenance, repair, and related products and services. Approval of this cooperative contract helps provide the necessary parts and repair services for the district's 25 elevators. Then we have modular buildings, classrooms, and relocation services. This cooperative contract allows the district to procure and or relocate portable classrooms to accommodate any student population changes. There are approximately 50 portable units in the district. Currently, there are no scheduled portable moves, and only 2 portables have been moved over the last 2 years. And then the last one is student and staff extracurricular materials, equipment, and related services. Some of the examples of student and staff extracurricular materials, equipment, and related services would be inflatables, dunk tanks, petting zoos, photo booths, DJ services, so a lot of fun activities for students. So if approved, these cooperative contracts would help supplement the RFP that was previously awarded by the board in June of 2023.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? I just want to note that the polystyrene thing started with students at Griffin Middle School. And I think they should have graduated last year, I believe, that they should be really proud of the legacy that they've left here in the district. So moving on, Ms. Bay, Board Policy FDB Local.
Yes, thank you, and I think Mr. Kaj is coming up. So the policy you have in front of you was presented to our Board Policy Committee prior to inclusion in this agenda. And while it affects a small number of students, we feel that it's an important amendment that should be made. And I'll let Mr. Kosh speak more to the specifics.
Yes, thank you for letting us bring this forth. As we are in our DECs, our competition districts, we've noticed that other districts that have academies or special programs that students qualify for, those students who transfer are becoming varsity eligible through the UIL, and it's all related back to board policy that those districts have. And so, therefore, that's why we brought forth the adjustment so that our students who qualify for these academies or the collegiate offering won't be penalized for their hard work and their effort moving forward.
Thank you. And myself, Ms. Sells, and Dr. Barker sat on that committee. Would either of you like to speak to the policy change?
I would just say that we support this, and we look forward to the opportunity that this allows those students that are going to also be taking opportunity of an academy that we offer, but that also not lose at some point in time. So we appreciate the work that was done by staff on this.
Yeah, greatly appreciate the work done by staff and for bringing it forward to the board so that we could make sure that a student wasn't penalized for pursuing academics in their athletic field. It's one of the things I love about the collegiate academy is that you can do everything. So thank you very much, and this will come back. Oh, Dr. Bonner.
Mr. Kaj, I think this policy is good and certainly look forward to voting for it next go-round, but is there a great hue and cry for freshmen that are eligible for varsity athletics at the Colony High School transferring in from other middle schools?
You know, it depends on the maturity of the student that comes in. Obviously, some of the bigger programs, maybe not so, but some of the smaller programs, definitely the athletes could qualify to be varsity ready, and we don't want to penalize them if our neighboring districts are having that opportunity provided to them.
Yeah, absolutely not. Wouldn't want to limit anything. I just didn't know if that had risen to be an issue, or if we were solving a problem that we haven't had yet. We want to make sure we don't have.
We have had some that have come forth, but per our policy, we would deem them varsity eligible, but the UIL does not have a board policy to fall back on. So we're looking at probably a handful, not a large number, but I would say probably about 5 to 7 per year.
Ms. Taylor?
And I just wanted to add, I think it's a great policy. Again, looking forward to voting for it. I will say that my own daughter considered going to the collegiate academy and was concerned that she couldn't play sport. So definitely, I think it's a needed policy, even if it affects a small percentage.
Agreed. That's why we are grateful that you brought it forward once again. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaj.
Thank you.
Next up is board committee updates. I'll just go around to the chairs. Ms. Lasan, do you have any update from your committee on our awards banquet?
That is coming up.
Right
And
around the
so-
corner.
right
Get your
around the
dresses
corner.
now.
And so me and Mrs. Brim will be, I suspect things will be pretty much similar to last year, but we will touch base and make sure we got everything in order.
The legislative committee, we're getting ready to gear up to have our advocacy for you all at April's meeting. Got a rough draft. Need to do some fine tuning on that. Dr. Bonner, do you have anything on the audit committee?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. On the audit committee, we have hit a couple of delays. We had actually anticipated that would be coming this month, and it's been delayed until May, so we look forward to hearing that in May to make sure that Mr. Martin is keeping things running straight. And then also on the Program and Budget Review Committee, I think it's worth noting that that group has continued to work to identify areas to help us with our budget moving forward, and we look forward to that as the year progresses. Thank you.
Yes. Are there any other committee updates? We've named everything, correct, Ms. Taylor? Very good. Next, we will once again convene into closed session as authorized by Texas Government Code Section 551, specifically 551.071 and 129. The time is 6:57 p.m. right, hold on, let me get my language.
Here, you have to sign, and then I'll put these in this bag for
Jamie?
Jamie.
Okay.
Is anybody?
We are back on the record in open session, having returned from closed session. The time now is 7:31 p.m. If there is no further business, this meeting is adjourned. The time is 7:31 p.m. Have a pleasant evening.